No, I know plenty of people who are trans, and it's one of the most painful processes on earth trying to get the hormones you feel like you need.
It's not true.
Like that is true. I don't think I've heard of a single case where people are getting fast-tracked into the...
I can walk you across the street to come talk to Chloe Cole here, who had her breasts cut off when she was 15 years old.
I wrote a whole article on it, plenty of examples. Mentally unstable, 16-year-olds.
That sounds pretty anecdotal
being recommended.
The practice has changed in recent years. It's gone away from the mental health approach with therapy to immediate affirmation only.
I don't think that's true.
Okay, I understand why you would feel that way. I totally get it. But it's just not the case. And in fact, WPATH, which is the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, they just had their annual conference in Montreal. Some protesters stood up in the conference to say that they need to abolish all therapy completely before any surgical or medical interventions. And they all received a standing ovation, including from the leadership. We've got Laura Edwards-Leeper, who founded the first gender clinic in Boston 15 years ago. She brought the Dutch protocol over here. She trained under the experts in Holland, who started what's called the Dutch protocol. She brought it over to the US. When they brought it to the US, they ignored some other requirements, and they started giving hormones to kids younger, because under the Dutch protocol, they said don't give them to them until they're 16. But they'll do it here at 13. Johanna Olsen-Kennedy at the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles just received a $5.7 million grant from the NIH, where they were allowed to reduce the age for cross-sex hormones from 13 to 8 years old if the kid's already in the certain tanner stage of puberty.
Would you agree with doing this stuff later, maybe?
Whenever the person wants to do it.
So whenever?
Yeah, I don't give a about my body. Here's the crazy thing, is that every single medical organization, reliable medical organization in the United States at least, disagrees with your point and says that it is perfectly fine and healthy to give these hormones to kids if they ask for it.
So the AAP is ignoring calls from within their own body to do a systematic review.
But what does the AAP say?
What we're asking the AAP to do is a systematic review of all the studies that have ever been done, because this is done in Sweden.
If that happens, if that happens and the AAP comes back after that systematic review and says, we think this is totally fine, we think that this is completely healthy and a reasonable thing to do, will you then support it?
I want them to follow the science. If the science supported this,
it does.
What about
it doesn't. Do me a favor, go to my Twitter account. You'll find an article written by Lior Sapir.
I'm not going to do any of that.
Going over 15 different studies. These are the studies that Jack Turbin used to justify transitioning kids. This is the science, my friend. I'm asking you to read the science.
It's not a science.
That's not a science. Like, less than 1% of people
you don't even want to read it.
feel the need to go back.
You say you want to follow the science, but you don't want to read the science.
I don't want to read your bullshit science. No, I don't. I think it's bullshit science, and I don't give a
credit.
I know it's bullshit science.
All right. So if you look at the most recent study into gender dysphoria, they followed 139 boys from the age of 5 all the way into their 20s. 87.8% of them saw their gender dysphoria desist when they went through puberty. 64% grew up to be gay. The Academy of Medicine in France just came out a few months ago and said it's impossible to tell which of these kids will see their gender dysphoria go away and which will not.
They're not doing surgeries on
all
kids
the studies we have into this.
You can't. No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. There is no doctor
What's your basis for saying that?
The law. There's no doctor in the United States who will give you who will do an irreversible surgery under the age of 18. That's just not true.
Chloe Cole is across the street. She had her breast cut off at 15. Do you want to come talk to her?
Mastectomy is that's
Do you want to come talk to her?
Was it for cancer or was it for
gender?
That's not true.
Come talk to her.
No.
Well, hold on.
She's right across the street.
You said something that's objectively not true. We have somebody that can prove you wrong. Literally had it happen to her when she was 15 years old, and you don't want to hear from that.
Sounds pretty anecdotal to me.
I've got video from Kaiser Permanente in Oakland, California, where the doctor is admitting that the youngest patient they've cut the breasts off of is 12 years old. It's on video, my friend.
I'm willing to bet you right now that that's an edited video where the doctor was talking about how the person had cancer, breast cancer, and had to cut it off.
Or maybe the child had severe depression.
There's nothing you can do when people don't want to know the truth, right? There's nothing you can do.
Health doesn't matter.
I hope you guys know that in 50 years, when your grandkids are looking at these, they're going to be ashamed of you, just like the.
Do you want to see a Boston Children's Hospital video that I tweeted out where they talk about
defending
doing double mastectomies?
Defending against the cutting up of children is the moral
I'll bring it up
stance
for you.
You know, I really believe that you believe that.
They can consent to that, huh?
Puberty blockers? Well, puberty blockers are 100% reversible, so yes.
And top surgeries as well. That's happening for people under the age of 18.
Right, but they're reversible.
They're reversible with zero damage. Is that correct?
I don't know if it's zero damage, but in the majority of cases, it's reversible with almost no damage.
The reason why a lot of them advocate for hormone blockers before puberty is to prevent the testicles from developing. Children that do that are young males, end up with a micropenis for the rest of their life.
Well, you know, if they feel like that's what they need to do, I support it. I think everyone should be able to do whatever they want with their own body. That's why I support abortion.
Things don't work that way when it comes to 10-year-olds making their own decisions. And literally, you can't drink, you can't get a tattoo, you can't go see rated R movies, but you can cut into your body because you feel like that's the right decision. When you're 10?
If your doctor and your therapist agree, then yes, which is what's required in order to do any of that in the United States.
All right, so this is a video by Boston Children's Hospital.
Pro transgender video.
Okay.
Okay.
Child transitioning video, just to clarify.
Okay.
in the United States. For top surgery, you are requested but not required to have been on gender-affirming hormones for at least a year. Many surgical centers require you to be 18 for top surgeries. We'll see people as young as age 15 if they've been affirmed in their gender for a long period of time and don't really.
So what are your thoughts about that?
That's fine to me.
Well, you said it's not happening, so it is though, right?
I was incorrect
Okay, so we're going to acknowledge that?
Yeah, I was incorrect about that for sure.
What else do you think you might be incorrect about?
Well, I'm sure plenty of things.
You were very confident about that 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, and like any reasonable person, I can say
So
when I
now
was
do you
wrong.
believe that they cut off the breast of a 12-year-old at Kaiser Permanente? Or do I need to show you that video too?
Were they affirming to their chosen gender for a long time, the way they said they have to be in that video?
Well, they don't have to be, they request it.
That's it, as long as they have been.
No, in fact, you can get these letters of approval for surgery over the phone. There was a Pride Festival in Madison, Wisconsin a few weeks ago. Someone set up a tent with a sandwich board saying trans or non-binary, free letters of recommendation for surgery. You can just walk up to the tent, get your letter for surgery that you need. Do you think that's the level of safeguarding we need for a lot of these kids who are struggling with other mental health comorbidities?
If they want to transition, then yeah.
Okay, so a second ago it wasn't happening. Now you acknowledge that it is happening and it's totally fine if there's no safeguards.
I mean, I don't think there should be zero safeguards. I think there should be safeguards like for any medical procedure whatsoever. But, it's not my choice.
Do you think a 10-year-old can consent to throwing away their future sexual function as an adult? How can they possibly make that decision?
If they've been living their truth for a long time, then yeah. If they've truly wanted to live, let's say if someone's born male with male genitalia and they want to have female genitalia and they've been living that truth their entire life, entirely off their own choice, then yeah, I do.
So you think a 10-year-old?
I don't think we're going to change.
that?
Yeah, he believes a 10-year-old can consent to that. I'm not sure if we're going to change any mind.
I think that there should be a more comprehensive view of like mental health and how that kind of coincides with people being trans or believing that they're trans. I think there's a certain age, which is maybe like 16, where they can decide to go on hormones.
Okay.
But that's
So
just my personal.
You have a way different viewpoint than a lot of the people here. Would you consider yourself more with that group over there of protesters?
I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a part of any group. I just think that like being able to talk to people and have discourse on either side is beneficial for people's, just growth.
What is going on here? We love this girl.
That's right.
Especially to children, I don't think that children can really grasp this like really abstract concept of gender.
Why do you think that the people that we've been talking to today, why do you think that they are so set in their beliefs that a child can make that decision? Because a lot of these people will say, hey, 7 years old. Is that crazy?
No, I personally don't think that a 7-year-old has the competency to be able to make those kinds of life-altering decisions, but that's just my personal take on it, just knowing 7-year-olds,